Columbus and others who sailed with him were intrigued by Indians smoking a leaf that seemed to be euphoric. They tried it and soon became addicted to the aromatic weed. The Native Americans had discovered the pleasurable and therapeutic properties of this plant more than 5 millennia before Columbus discovered the New World. It was part of religious rituals and ceremonial feasts. Tobacco carried back by the explorer navigators took Europe by storm. It soon became a rage from Spain to France and England to Holland. King James I was apprehensive about the ills it may cause and criticized it vehemently. Ironically, he too was tempted to exploit it, but only by taxing the crop. Ever since, tobacco plantations in different continents have contributed substantially to national economies. Livelihood of millions all over the globe depends on it. For past 500 years, the story of tobacco is inextricably bound with history of colonialism and slavery. Chroniclers of popular culture can't afford to overlook the impact of Prince's nicotine on literature, painting, music and films. The Industrial Revolution and technological innovations had a dramatic impact on smoking. Mass-produced cigarettes transformed packaging and advertising. The first half of the 20th century witnessed 2 world wars and revolutionary upheavals in Russia and China. Fight against colonialism also caused great tumult. Princess Nicotine reigned supreme and spread her empire as none had time to consider the life-threatening hazards of smoking. Consumers began to bond strongly with particular brands. The rich and the beautiful succumbed easily to temptations of accessories spawned by their nicotine addiction. Only when peace returned and life began to slowly limp back to normalcy, issues concerning nutrition and health, pollution of environment returned to center stage. For the past 50 years, there has been growing concern about hazards of cigarette smoking and its relationship with lung cancer. Medical researchers established the link between cigarette smoking and cancer. The harmful effects of tobacco could no longer be wished away. Governments have all over the world began to impose restrictions on smoking in public places and made it mandatory to print health warnings on cigarette packing.
Tobacco is the world's second most favorite drug after alcohol. Millions of users, millions of people die from tobacco-related disease, mainly smoking-related disease.
But cigarettes aren't the only way in which tobacco is consumed. Pipes, cigars, bidis and hookahs have been with us for hundreds of years. Then there are snuff, snus and chewing tobacco, zarda, khani and surti. The risks of oral cancer are far more real and scary in India and the subcontinent.
Jabalpur, in a district place, we have a dental hospital over there. That is around 200 or 300 OPD per day. And in oral medicine and radiology, there's a separate department for the diagnosis of the particular patients. So you'll not believe, almost daily, if we calculate around 20-22 days on a working days in a month, almost daily 5 to 7 new cases. Either they are pre-malignant or they are the cancerous.
Snus has been available for hundreds of years in Scandinavia, mainly in Sweden and Norway. But the new type of snus that we know as Swedish snus with very low carcinogenic substances came about 1990. We have seen a very rapid decline in smoking both in Norway and Sweden, paralleled with an increasing snus use.
Research in past 50 years has tirelessly tried to make smoking safe. Alternatives like e-cigarettes and vaping have emerged.
So when I first heard about electronic cigarettes, I thought, well, this is going to be a good solution, because up until now, the toolbox for smoking was to make things more difficult for smokers and for companies. Controls on advertising, taxation, the whole package of tobacco control measures, very important, but there hadn't been anything to offer consumers a choice to move away from smoking.
We know that people are going to smoke or use nicotine. We know that the nicotine isn't what causes all the cancer and heart disease, respiratory illnesses and so on. That's the smoke that does that. The particles of hot toxic soot and the hot toxic gases, that's what's doing the harm to the body. So if you can get to a situation where people take nicotine but without the smoke, the risk to their health falls dramatically. Maybe falls by 95%, maybe even more than that. They all share one important characteristic in common, which is that there's no combustion. Nothing is set fire to and no smoke is inhaled. For vaping, you warm up a liquid, turn it into an aerosol, inhale it. It feels a little bit like smoking, but it's nothing like as harmful or as dangerous. So different things for different people. Go to e-cigarettes, go to heated tobacco products, go to novel nicotine products. As long as there's no combustion, you're going to get a huge dramatic decline in risk.
Let me tell you honestly, sir, electronic cigarette and vaping is still in a controversial thing. Nicotine, actually earlier when you used to study, at that time nicotine was the main concern for everything. Now it is proven that nicotine is mainly for the addiction. But the alkaloids, the benzene ring compounds, aromatic compounds, they are the main causative factors for the cancer. In India especially, very much doubt. But still there are surveys, there are still researches are going on for the even e-cigarettes also. So I have a skeptical view over it. I'm not giving a green signal to e-cigarette.
There's a debate worldwide about how to properly regulate these new products. Ban them? Treat the same as all tobacco products? Treat them differently? In Singapore and Thailand, they are banned. In the UK, on the other hand, the government explicitly encourages smokers to consider switching to e-cigarettes.
A billion people are going to die this century as a direct result of cigarette smoking based on current trends in consumption. And virtually all of that is because of the inhalation of smoke, not the use of nicotine. That all we need to do is grasp the opportunity to show vision, to move away from combustion. And we can accomplish something that's on par with the elimination of smallpox or the Green Revolution. I mean, we can do things to extend human life for hundreds of millions of people by many years.
What needs to be understood is the fact that people, especially adults, can't be expected to live renunciated lives or live like celibates, eschewing pleasures of food and drink. Use of hazardous substances in daily diet or intoxicating beverages is no less addictive than exhilarating, often life-threatening behavior. People will drive motorcycles fast and keep skydiving or mountain climbing for thrills. What one should realistically strive for is persuasion that can ensure significant harm reduction. The past 50 years have been devoted to coping with complex challenges posed by tobacco consumption. These extend far beyond the realm of smoking. Over 80% of people in India chew tobacco or smoke bidis. People succumbing to oral cancers far outnumber the victims of lung cancer and other respiratory ailments. Nor can one overlook that India is one of the largest producers and exporters of tobacco, and livelihood of millions depends on tobacco cultivation and tobacco products. What do the next 50 years hold for India's 300 million tobacco users? Its 3 million tobacco growers. Will they simply disappear? Or can new products provide better alternatives for all of them and heal the harmful legacy of the tobacco products of the past?